So, Mari, in the very beginning, we talked about your love of learning. Like, where would you put yourself between a one and a six? So, today, would you put yourself on a one with I hate all things learning, all things school, or would you put yourself on a six? I absolutely love to learn for the sake of learning.
I would put myself at like a 5.2.
All right. So, 5.2. I'll take it. Okay. Because when I asked you that question the first time, you told me a four. So, I think that's a significant increase. Okay. So I guess my next question then, Mari, is how does knowing how to learn, hopefully knowing these study skills, help you love to learn?
Um, it helps me have a better idea of how to organize things on my papers, and it helped with my test anxiety and that kind of stuff.
Nice. Okay, that's good to hear. And then I always like to ask Mari, the reason that I like to kind of pick your brain after, the program is just to see what it is that you liked, what it is you didn't like. So is there anything that I should know, things that you're hoping I keep doing with other teens, things that you think, Jessica, you could maybe do that a little better?
I hope you keep going over test anxiety because it helped me
Okay. Well, good.
and my environment, like how I get to be somewhere else at my school while everybody else is taking the test so that there's less noise. That also helped me, and I started to like it more because I used to not like having to go somewhere else, even though I knew there was a lot of noise.
Okay. And was it the sake of actually having to get up and move, Mari, or was it the fact that some people got to move and some people didn't, or what was it that you didn't like?
It was just like I really don't know how to describe it, but it just made me feel different.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a lot different than my friends to begin with because, I am really different.
Well, I guess I wonder, Mari, how did we work together? Like, how did that come to be with you and your parents? Like, did you think you needed some help with study skills? Did they kind of offer you and me to work together? Like, how did that
I
conversation?
think I mostly needed help with like what's the best way to organize my notes? Because my notes are very organized, don't get me wrong. Vocabulary logs and like boxing my questions, those things were great. But I think I just really needed to learn how to really like mark up my things better for what is most important and like what's like, okay, this is a note you should take, but you shouldn't have to rely on it.
Mm.
And like how to highlight different parts of like texts and stuff like that. And also test anxiety. That one was definitely beneficial to me and motivation.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And organization was slightly helpful to me, but I don't think it was very helpful because I found myself very organized. And I'm more excited for the math blanket, at least I think. I may regret saying that because 8th grade math has definitely gotten more difficult, but I think I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I know you've listed a lot of study skills, Mari, but I wonder, I mean, is there something we've talked about that you think is going to help in high school? Because I feel like that's part of the reason we worked together was because you're in 8th grade, we're thinking about high school. So I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that.
I think realizing like what the best things to do for studying with me are, and like realizing there are some programs I really like to use, like Khan Academy and IXL, because I finally am starting to love it again. Because like once I hit 6th grade, it wasn't very fun anymore for me, because I found it quite a waste of time, which I regret that because it is really helpful. And also just like having better organization of my notes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
just like an even step better in the organization zone of notes because it's not like they were like all over the place. But
Okay. Well, if somebody else asked you, Mari, another teen asked you what it was like to work with me, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that it was fun, and very helpful, and it's successful. It had a good outcome.
Well, good. Okay. Well, if there was someone worried, do I want to work with Jessica? If you had, if a friend or someone your age, Mari, or maybe a little younger, a little older, wondering, do I really want to do tutoring? Do I really want to learn these study skills? What would you say to that?
I would say that it really depends on the person which ones really do actually benefit to you, but it's not like learning all of them is gonna kill you.
So, are you glad that you learned them all, Mari? I mean, do you feel like it was a good idea to learn all 12 and then the
And
test taking stuff?
and I feel like most of them were actually, like, helpful to me, but, there were definitely, like, a couple of them that really are up there on the scale of helpful, and, like, some of them are lower down.
Huh?
But they were worth learning, but, like, maybe one of them wasn't necessary for me, but I learned a lot of skills, though.